Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping right into chin reshaping, also known as genioplasty. We're going to get into what it is, why someone might consider it, and, what the whole process really looks like from start to finish.
So let's start with a really fundamental question. Think about it. The chin is literally the anchor of your lower face. Its shape and how far it projects really sets the stage for how everything else, your nose, your lips, your jawline, all fits together. But what happens when that balance just feels a little off?
And that's exactly where these procedures come in. You'll hear the clinical names, genioplasty or mentoplasty, but they both mean the same thing, surgically reshaping the chin. Now, the goal here isn't about chasing some kind of perfect ideal. It's really about creating a better sense of proportion that just feels right for your face.
All right, first up, reshaping your profile. What does that actually mean, and why is it such a big deal in the world of facial aesthetics?
It really all boils down to creating a natural, harmonious look. Whether the chin is being made larger or smaller, the whole point is to adjust its size or projection so it just flows with your other features. This is especially noticeable when you look at someone's profile. That side view is where it all comes together.
Okay, so what are the actual reasons someone might think about this? Well, the motivations usually fall into one of two big categories, either wanting a stronger, more defined chin, or feeling like you need to soften a chin that seems a little too prominent.
So, on the augmentation side, that is, making the chin larger, the most common reason is for something called microgenia. That's just the clinical term for a chin that's a bit weak or recedes back. By building it up, the goal is often to get a much stronger, more defined jawline. And interestingly, it's also often done to create a better balance after another procedure, like a rhinosplasty.
And then, of course, there's the flip side, reduction. This is for a condition called macrogenia, where the chin might feel a bit too large, too long, or overprojected. In these cases, the goal is totally different. It's about softening the facial contours and bringing that feature into a more balanced proportion with the rest of the face.
So, we get the why. But now for the how. What are the actual options on the table? How do surgeons accomplish this kind of reshaping?
You can really think of it as two main paths. On one side, you have non-surgical options, like dermal fillers. These are great for small temporary tweaks, but they don't really fix the underlying bone structure. And on the other side, you have the surgical solutions, which are all about permanent correction. And that's what we're going to focus on right now.
Okay, one of the most common ways to do this surgically is with an implant. The concept is pretty simple, actually. The surgeon makes a tiny incision, creates a little pocket right on top of the chin bone, and then places a specially shaped, biocompatible implant in there to add projection and definition. Now, the other major technique is something called a sliding genioplasty. And this one, well, it's a bit more involved. Instead of adding something to the chin, the surgeon actually makes a cut in your own chin bone and then slides that piece into a new position. It can go forward or even up or down to change the height. Then it's all locked into place with some tiny plates and screws.
So how do you even choose between them? Well, let's break it down. Implants give you a very predictable shape and often a quicker recovery. But a sliding genioplasty uses your own body's tissue, which means you don't have to worry about implant-related issues. Plus, it's way more versatile. It can change the height of your chin, not just how far it sticks out.
And what about making the chin smaller? For a reduction, the approach is different. It's more like sculpting. The surgeon will carefully shave down the bone or even remove a small section of it to reshape the chin's contour. The goal is to get a smoother, less prominent profile that's permanent.
Of course, the surgery itself is only part of the story, right? The recovery is just as important. So let's talk about what you can really expect once the procedure is over. So what's the healing process look like? Well, that first week is going to be where you see the most swelling and feel the most discomfort. But then by the 1 to 2 week mark, things start to calm down. Fast forward to about 4 to 6 weeks, and most of that major swelling is gone, and you can usually get back to the gym. But, and this is important, the final, truly refined result can actually take a few months to fully emerge as that last little bit of swelling fades away. To make sure all that healing goes as smoothly as possible, following these post-op instructions is absolutely essential. Simple things like sleeping with your head propped up on a few pillows helps keep the swelling down. A soft diet is a must for a few days to protect the area. And, of course, avoiding any kind of pressure or impact on the chin is key to letting everything heal just right.
So, you've gone through the surgery, you've made it through recovery. What's the payoff? Let's talk about the long-term results and what that final profile really looks like.
Here is the bottom line. Surgical chin reshaping is designed to be a permanent fix. It doesn't matter if it was an implant, a sliding genioplasty,
or a reduction. The whole point is a stable, long-term improvement. You're fundamentally changing the bone structure, the very foundation, and that leads to a lasting change in your facial harmony.
And really, it all just comes back to this one idea. The objective that the patient and the surgeon share isn't to create some abstract, perfect chin. It's all about achieving a result that looks, and more importantly, feels natural, refined, and balanced for that one individual person's face.
And that kind of leaves us with one big final thought to chew on. While the surgery itself is a game of millimeters, of incredible precision, the ultimate goal is tied so closely to our own personal sense of confidence and harmony. It really makes you wonder, right? Is true facial balance something you can measure with a ruler, or is it just something you feel?